Hello and welcome to the Sfl Draft of 2021, our 5th ever Sfl Draft. I'm so excited to see which each of the teams select here, as we have 2 new teams, which means the rounds are extended now. Instead of 4 picks in each round, it's 6 picks, and we have 4 rounds like last year with 27 rookies. 3 will go undrafted, but which I'm excited to see what the new teams select. So let's just take a moment, look at some of the rookies we'll talk about. We have, as the quarterbacks, 3 of the quarterbacks could definitely go in the first round. Nick Casanelli, Chris Harvey, and Cole Vowles. As I had them ranked, I have Nick Casanelli, probably the best player in the draft. He could play quarterback, but he can also play receiver, but I think he mainly wants to be a quarterback in the SFL. He should definitely be the first overall selection. I honestly don't think there should be anybody else going first overall but him. With the Cobras, I know they're looking at Nick Casanelli, but they also need a wide receiver right now because Ben Reese, his knee is still hurting, so he might play quarterback for the Cobras. So don't be surprised if they don't go with Nick Casanelli. Let's look at some of the receivers. Jesse Garneau I have the top ranked wide receiver in the draft. We know he would play, compete, and show up. I'm excited to see what he's got. I know he's a tall, speedy wide receiver, and that's what the Cobras need. They need some receivers. They lost A.J. Hetu to the Mustangs. But yeah, I'm excited for where they go first overall. Right now, the Cobras are on the clock. So let's talk about the Cobras. They went 1-3, and they won their last game of the regular season. They were 0-3. They had a really rough start. The season was shortened to COVID, of course. They had a rough start. Got a huge win in Week 4, had some momentum going into the playoffs, but had to play the Jaguars. First round, the Jaguars were unstoppable. Went undefeated, won the championship. They were unstoppable in the regular season and in the playoffs. They competed the whole first half. They were tied. They were tied with the Jaguars, I'm pretty sure. Or they were losing by 1 at halftime, and then the Jaguars just ran away with it, and they ended up winning. But they did get a garbage time touchdown, and they only lost by 13 points, I'm pretty sure. 31-18, they lost to the Jaguars, but they played pretty well, especially in the first half. The Jaguars, they had them actually scared. But Cobras are on the clock right now. I think what they should do is they definitely got to go Nick Casanelli. That is no question. I think they got to go Nick Casanelli. They lost Mark Clayman. If Ben Reese wants to play some QB, they could use him at receiver, or they can switch off. They could do something like around those lines. But Jesse Garneau, they could go with Jesse Garneau. I think that would be a good pick for them if they're looking just to stay with Ben Reese at quarterback for this year and see what goes on. And looks like the pick is in. I'm excited. The first pick of the 2021 SFL Draft is coming right up. We'll see who they select. Is it Nick Casanelli? Is it Jesse Garneau? Or is it someone else? We'll see in just a moment. With the first pick in the SFL Draft, the Cobras select Jesse Garneau, wide receiver, defensive back. Wow. So it was Jesse Garneau that they selected. That is crazy. The Cobras have selected wide receiver and defensive back Jesse Garneau over the top-ranked Nick Casanelli. That's kind of surprising. They've done this before with Stephen Mason in the 2018 draft being the top-ranked rookie, but then the Cobras ended up selecting wide receiver John Gallardo, which was to everybody's surprise. Everybody thought for a fact they would go with Steve Mason, but they didn't. Right now on the screen, you can see the Honey Badgers are now on the clock. So what can they do? They lost Isaiah Rivera, actually, in free agency to the Astros that you can see on the screen right there. So, yeah, Isaiah Rivera was a huge impact player. They signed him, undrafted rookie, off waivers from the Mustangs, given to the Honey Badgers. To the Mustangs didn't want him. Boy, what a mistake that was. Went on to win Rookie of the Year, and is definitely maybe one of the top players in the league right now, with a great showing with 8 touchdowns, 9 counting playoffs. He was unstoppable. But Honey Badgers right now are on the clock. Who do they go with? I don't know. I think they should go with Nick Casanelli. Even though it's not what they really need, they already have Stephen Mason at quarterback, but you always know Stephen Mason can play some receiver as well. They should go Nick Casanelli here, I think, with the pick. They could go anybody else, but I think Nick Casanelli is that guy. He's definitely the best player in the draft. I think with him falling to number 2, you don't want him falling to either the Mustangs or the Jaguars, because that could just be pure trouble. Honey Badgers, this is your chance. You can't mess this up. I think you guys got to go Nick Casanelli here. The pick is in, so we'll see. Is it Nick Casanelli or is it someone else? We'll check in a moment. With the second pick in the Sfl Draft, the Honey Badgers select Nick Casanelli, quarterback, linebacker. Wow, there we go. Nick Casanelli is a Honey Badger. Smart pick here for the Honey Badgers. This will help them compete for a championship. Now they might be able to compete with the Jaguars with that pick. We don't know. I think Nick Casanelli will definitely a front runner for Rookie of the Year this year. Great pick by the Honey Badgers. So the Mustangs, I know for a fact they're looking for a quarterback. Owen Swerad came back. He played some QB and played well, but they want to use his athleticism at wide receiver. I'm pretty sure they definitely got to go quarterback here. Who could they pick? They either have a choice between Cole Vowles and Chris Harvey. Cole Vowles is actually the next best prospect behind Nick Casanelli. He's the second. But I think Cole Vowles would be a great pick here for the Mustangs. He's very close. He's a great quarterback. He has a lot of potential in this league, and I'm interested to see where he ends up. I think he could definitely be a Mustang. Or I know the Mustangs were heavily looking into Chris Harvey. So they did sign AJ Hitu as well, I should add. But Mustangs are going to go quarterback here, I'm pretty sure. They might not, but well, the pick is in, so we will see. With the third pick in the Sfl Draft, the Mustangs select Chris Harvey, quarterback, safety. Wow. So the Mustangs select Chris Harvey over Cole Vowles. I think that's because of the chemistry. I think that maybe that is a smart pick there. But that's probably because of the chemistry they have. And I think the Mustangs are going to be one of the most, what's the word? They're going to have the most probably team chemistry in the SFL right now, besides maybe the Jaguars. Next up, speaking of Jaguars, it's their pick. The defending champions are up to pick. Who do they go with? They could go with like a bigger guy, maybe a tight end. Here's some of the tight ends. Top-ranked tight end is John Contillo. He's 6'4". Definitely one of the biggest players in the league, tallest. I think he might actually be the tallest player in the league. Could they go with John Contillo here? Or they can go with another fast guy. I think they should go with another fast guy. I don't know, who could they go with? Wide receiver? Maybe Tim Walker, he's up there. They could go with utility, Kyle Pianka. It's all up to the Jaguars. I'm I want to see who they pick. They can go I would actually think they're going to go utility. Either Tim Walker, Kyle Pianka, Tyler Grandchamp. Let's see who they go with. The pick is in. With the fourth pick in the SFL Draft, the Jaguars select Kyle Pianka, utility. Alrighty, that was a solid pick there for the Jaguars. The fourth-ranked rookie, first-ranked utility player in the draft was Kyle Pianka. Jaguars like using that utility, and they're sticking with it. Kyle Pianka, another player, another weapon for that offense. It's going to be hard stopping the Jaguars, let me tell you. And now to my favorite part of the draft, we got the two new teams. I'm so interested in what they're going to do. His first pick, the fifth pick, goes to the Astros. I already said they signed Isaiah Rivera, but that wasn't the only big signing they did. They also signed Max Holroyd. Max Holroyd, big part of that Jaguars championship victory. He is now on the Astros and starting a new era with a new team. Who could they go with? Maybe they can go with another weapon for Nick Anderson at quarterback, and I'm pretty sure he's the captain. They're going to stick with Nick Anderson at quarterback. I don't know if they're going to draft another one. But, wow, the pick is in. Alrighty. Who will the Astros select? With the fifth pick in the SFL Draft, the Astros select John Contillo, tight end linebacker. Wow, nice pick there for the Astros. They're getting the 6'4" tight end / wide receiver. Wow, it's a big target for Nick Anderson. And he's also got Max and Isaiah, so that might be an interesting team. Interesting new team. And speaking of interesting new team, how about the Goblins? So the Goblins had a logo, and they updated it now to this one, and I like this logo a lot better. Credit to Nate Allen. Good job. Good marketing right there. Goblins, they've done a lot of signings. I'll just list off the names right here. They've signed Joe Smith. That was Mr. Irrelevant of 2020, he did pretty good with the Mustangs, but I feel like he'd be a more breakout star on the Goblins. I can't wait to see what he can do. They've also got signed Vincent Lancelotti, which was probably their biggest offseason signing. They've signed Lucas Damana, who was on the Cobras, had a pretty good year, scoring 4 touchdowns, 2 in the playoffs. So two touchdowns regular season, 2 touchdowns in the playoffs. They could be actually very interesting. They also signed John Fabiano from the Cobras because I guess Joe and Tommy have some chemistry, according to Nate Allen. So I'm interested in the Goblins, who they take here. Nate also said Joe Smith can play some quarterback, which is unheard of. He didn't play much quarterback for the Mustangs. Maybe he'll get a chance to shine, but you still got Cole Vowles sitting there, the second-ranked rookie among them all. I think the Goblins, they need to take him right here. They can't. I mean, they do have the second-round pick, the pick of the second round too. But I mean, you gotta take him. I think this is where we go, Cole Vowles. But we'll see what the Goblins do. Looks like the pick is not. Oh, okay. Now the pick is in. The pick is in for the Goblins. Who are they getting? Let's find out. With the 6th pick and the final pick of the first round, the Goblins select Cole Vowles, quarterback, defensive back. Alrighty, that concludes the first round. Cole Vowles is a Goblin. What a pick there. History has been made, actually. That is the first time 3 quarterbacks have gone in the first round of the SFL Draft. But stay tuned tomorrow. Round 2 of the SFL Draft will be coming. Thank y'all, and good night.